Just like any other living thing, humans are part of ecosystems. Some human activities harm ecosystems. Other human activities help ecosystems. Click the images to find out about the effects of human activity on ecosystems. Pollution is a major cause of habitat loss. Pollution from cars, oil spills, and factories harms living things. In fact, many scientists think that pollution in Earth's atmosphere is changing climates around the world. This could harm ecosystems everywhere. People need land for farming and for raising livestock such as cattle, but clearing the land decreases diversity. This is especially true in areas near tropical rainforests. Clearing the land takes habitats away from plants and animals. Humans are always building new things: houses, stores, roads, and more. When we clear the land, we destroy habitats for other living things. This decreases diversity because there is more competition for food, space, and other resources. Over time, humans have hunted many species to extinction. Today, we try to protect endangered species. But even protected species, such as elephants, are at risk. Poachers kill elephants to sell the valuable ivory from the elephant's tusks. One way to protect diversity is to try to restore ecosystems. People often plant trees to replace trees that have been cut down. In other areas, people are pumping water back into wetlands that have been drained. One of the best ways to protect diversity is to protect habitats. National parks are one way to preserve habitats. Governments limit building on or near the habitats in national forests and parks. Coral reefs have been destroyed and harmed by human activity. To try to reverse some of this loss, humans can make artificial reefs. We put objects such as concrete bricks, tires, and old ships, or even airplanes on the ocean floor. Corals and other organisms can grow and live on these objects. One way you can help protect ecosystems is by recycling. By recycling, we use fewer resources. This can protect habitats from further development and mining. Which of these ecosystems has the most diversity? Click the image that shows the correct answer. You got it. Coral reefs have a great deal of diversity. Climate determines how much diversity an ecosystem has. Recall that many of the ecosystems with the most diversity are near the equator, where temperatures and rainfall are favorable. If the climate is cold or dry, even for part of the year, an ecosystem may have less diversity. Which statements describe an ecosystem? Click on the correct answers. That's it. Ecosystems have living and non-living components. Correct. These are 3 abiotic factors that most living things need to survive. That's right. Many species of plants and animals live in an ecosystem and compete for resources. You've got it. The plants and animals in an ecosystem are suited for the specific conditions there. Ecosystems have biotic and abiotic parts. The organisms in ecosystems have their own niches, and they compete with each other for resources. Some abiotic parts of an ecosystem include sunlight, air, and water. Consider the koala. How does a koala's niche put it in competition for resources? Use the space to answer. Then click OK. Super. Organisms that have narrow niches often face a lot of competition. Koalas live in and eat only eucalyptus trees. They compete with each other for food and space. If other organisms rely on eucalyptus trees, koalas face competition from those organisms as well. If eucalyptus trees are lost due to fire or human activity, then koalas have less space to live and less food. You've learned a lot about the parts of ecosystems. Let's review the main ideas from the lesson. An ecosystem is a community of organisms and the environment in which they live. Ecosystems have living or biotic parts. Ecosystems also have non-living or abiotic parts. A population is all of the organisms of the same kind that live in an ecosystem. The populations of different plants and animals that live in the same area and interact with each other are called a community. In a habitat, an organism can find everything it needs to live. The role a plant or an animal plays in its habitat is called its niche. Some organisms have a wide niche, which means they can live in many areas and use many resources. Other organisms have a narrow niche. They can use fewer resources and can live in fewer areas. Diversity is the number and variety of organisms in a given ecosystem. As a result of climate, some ecosystems have greater diversity than others. Warmer, wetter ecosystems near the equator tend to have the greatest diversity. Humans are part of ecosystems. Pollution, habitat loss due to farming and development, and poaching all harm ecosystems. Human activities that help ecosystems include planting trees, protecting habitats and parks, making artificial reefs, and recycling. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.